Hi there. Today we're going to be tying a nice Callibaetis pattern on a size 10 Togens Competition Nymph hook. Some of the materials we're going to be using today are Togens Prison Dubbing in brown olive, Semperfli classic wax thread in 12 dot brown, Togens copper wire, and Ozark barred turkey quill for the body and the wing case. So let's get started here. Oh, and Nature Spirit partridge in natural for the tail and the legs. So this is a really nice Callibaetis pattern in the sense that it's got tails, legs, it moves, it breathes, and it's got a very kind of natural look to it. The size 10 is a short competition nymph hook, so it's really represents the Callibaetis patterns you'll see in the Stillwater lakes, in the Stillwaters. So let's get started. Just wrapping our thread around the hook like that. Nothing too you haven't seen before here. Always trying to keep it fairly flat as we move to the back. So now what I'm going to do is I'm taking a look here, just kind of, this is my partridge feather. I'm pulling, separating it, making kind of a V. Like that. I'm then going to, once I've made my V, and then I'm going to cut off the center piece. And then I'm going to pull these long ones back, which I'll probably use for my legs. This is a good way to get the most out of your partridge feather too. And then, so I'm pulling these long ones back, kind of separating it. One's going to be a tail, the other half's going to be the legs. Okay, just kind of, you don't want too much tail on there, but it's okay if it kind of bushes out a little bit. Once it gets tied in, it splits up. So now I'm just coming in, tying it in, couple loose wraps because I want to adjust it a little bit. And too many there. Pull it over the top like that. And then I'm just going like this, and I'm just shortening it up a little bit. Probably used too many. It's okay to use a few more tail fibers than what you'd see in a natural or anything like that because they do break off. But that's looking pretty good. Yeah, that's good. Counterclockwise. And then like I said before, go up to there, come in with your sharp scissors, pinch off and cut it off there. And then what I'm going to use for that is those are going to be my legs at the top part of the fly. Then you're maximizing your usage of your partridge feathers. And if you have really long ones, you can just use it, pull it back like that and just use it for the tail. But that one actually was a good feather in the sense that I could use it for both the tail and the legs. So now I'm coming in with my copper wire, tying it right along the side of the hook there. Always kind of flattening out that thread, especially as you get to the back. It's okay if it bulks up a little bit in the middle because that's gonna be tapered up there like that, but you don't want to have that bulking up along the tail. And you know, it's not the end of the world if it does. It's just, you're just trying to maintain a nice profile with it. So now what I'm doing is I've cut off a few fibers of my turkey quill. You want the show side facing the hook, the flat side. One side's slightly more dull, one side has a little bit more of a sheen. You want the sheen going towards the hook. Oh, and if you're having troubles wrapping it, just give it a counterclockwise spin so your thread stays in the spot. All I'm doing now is I'm doing a couple loose threads so I can pull it so I just have the tips in. That's looking pretty good. Counterclockwise spin, always kind of keeping that thread nice and flat there. Good. Now it's secure. And you can build a little bit of a taper here with your thread. That's what I'm doing, and just kind of fattening it up towards the middle. With these nymphs, you don't want to have it going too far. You want a good third of it's going to be wing case. And to keep the profile much like the naturals. And as you're wrapping this part of the feather's fatter than the tips, and it'll start to bulk up a bit. So we don't need to go too crazy. I actually might have put too much on there. I'm just going to do a little whip finish here. And put on my rotary function. And I'm going to wrap my body. So as I wrap my body, I'm just flattening that out with my finger. Pull my hook out of the way, keeping that up, and I'm just coming around. Oh, kind of bulked up a bit on me there, twisted up. That's okay, I'll get it with the wire. Very much like a wrapping pheasant tail. Nothing too fancy. As I get to there, I'll stop. I'll then, oops. The rotary's hitting my camera post, so I have to go the other way with it, which is a bit awkward. 1 secure, 2, 3 for the show there, good to go. Come in, tie it off. Then what I'm going to do, wrap that around a little bit, do another whip finish, and I will counter wrap the wire going the other way. So that one I wrap this way, wire I'm going the other way, and I'm just going to, and that just secures it. Then you've got a really good oops, what happened there? There we go. 1, 2. And it doesn't matter if your wire moves a little bit up there because the wing case is going to cover all of that. All right, that's all taken off now. Just kind of securing that. So we got a body, we got a nice buggy looking tail there. Cool, everything's good. Now we're going to come in and I'm going to tie in a wing case here. So what do we got for wing case material? So that's pretty good. So what I'm doing, the same thing here. I've got my wing case fibers here. I'm just going to take the tips, I'm going to flatten it out so I can see exactly what I'm tying in. And I'm going to tie it in flash side down, so when it flips over, the flash side will be up. I'm just pinching it, coming in, and I'm going to get a better pinch than that. Good. And as I mentioned before, you want, so that's kind of under a third. You'll want to go back a bit more there, and that's giving you a good third of a, kind of went crooked towards me. I'll just tie it in that way a bit. That's going to give you a good third of a wing case for your mayfly nymph. Just flattening that over. Then what I like to do, I'm going to put in my dubbing. And the dubbing I'm going to use is this wonderful dubbing, Togens Prison dubbing in brown olive. The thing I really like about this is I get all my colors of a good peacock wing case, but I get all those nice, I don't know if you can see it, maybe you'll see it better like that. Those fibers, those rusty copper-like fibers that make, that really pop when they're in the water. So now I'm coming down here. I'm lightly taking a bit of saliva and just wetting this down to get this to stick. Now some people really coat on the dubbing. I like to use little bits at a time and really make sure that it, sometimes you put on too much and it just bulks up right away. 2 fish later, your dubbing's gone, your wing case is gone. And you can really See how that's starting to pop. I don't know if you can see it in the camera, but those little rusty copper bits really give a nice looking nymph there. Get a little bit more. Just kind of building that up now. And it's okay to go over it with a few thread wraps too. You're not going to see it when it's all done, and that's just going to secure that dubbing in that much more. Awesome. So I'm liking that. Got a nice wing case, got a taper, got a tail, got a thorax, I should say, and a wing case. Everything's there. Now all I'm doing here, I'm just cutting off these little stragglers. Not necessary, but I like the look of it when it's not getting in the way of the legs and stuff. Okay, so good. Kind of push that back a little bit, like that. Now, where were those legs? So here's our legs. Got a little V cut like that. Come in, take it like this. I've cut off the center. I've got long legs here. They won't be too long because I'll show you what you're going to do. You come in, come on down, pinch. 1, 2, 3. There we go. That's better. And then I'm going to do a couple loose ones to shorten it or pull it out a bit. There, that's what I'm looking for. Keep that in the middle like that. There we go. Get that out of the way. Secure. All right. Pull up. It kind of moved on me a bit. That's okay. I can always... There, that's better. Didn't quite have them balanced before. 2, 3. Pull it around a bit. There we go. Then from the eye up, elevate that a little bit just so it doesn't move on me. Come in there with my spring scissors. That eye tight, pull those out. Flatten those down a bit. And from the eye, you can build a head. Moving from the eye back to your wing case. Some people don't like to put too much by the eye there, but you know what? These things have heads. Callibaetis have heads. Mayflies have heads. And then you just kind of preen that the way you want there. Might have a straggler or something. If you want to, you can cut that off. I don't worry too much about it. It's going to I'll just give it a little trim off there we go. All right. Come up with your tail, kind of move that around. That'll move in the water. That's okay. It's gonna look good. Then what I like to do, you can come and hit it on the top with some resin if you want, or you can come and hit it up with some varnish. I'm gonna use a little bit of Sally Hansen here. And I'm just coming up and I'm just hitting my wing case and my thread on the top. All right, and that just kind of keeps everything nice and solid. It'll dry quick. Trim down my fibers, that, and that is your mayfly. Right, you got the partridge on the legs, tail, nice and buggy looking, body, 3/4 or a third of the wing case. You got that nice copper rib underneath it, and that beautiful prism dubbing in brown olive. You can see those nice little copper flecks in there. And that's going to breathe and pulse in the water. Size 10 competition barbless hook. perfect. Thank you very much for watching.